Hi students! In this video, I am going to be sharing with you a tutorial on how to draw a Savanna sunset. So for this activity, you are going to need your colored pencils, so des crayons de bois. You're also going to need this paper right here, so I've put it on the class website. So as you can see, it's a Savanna backdrop, but right now there is no sunset, so that's what we're going to be working on today. And eventually you will need your animals. So there's a document provided on the class website for that as well. So that's all you're going to need for now. Colored pencils, this. If you do not have this, it's fine. You can just take a white piece of paper. There's a square on this, but just don't mind the square, but just draw a horizon line with your Sharpie. So you could do that if ever you cannot print this out. So I will show you the picture of our inspiration for this project, and then we will look at step by step how we're going to create our Savanna sunset. I hope that you are inspired and ready to go now that you have your material with you. We will start with our colored pencils, so these. So I need you to take out all of your colored pencils that are either red, yellow, orange. You might have many of them, you might not have a lot of them. It really doesn't matter, but you're still going to need a couple of them. So make sure to take out your colored pencil, and I'll show you how I organized my pencils. So here are my colored pencils. So you're going to have to create kind of a rainbow gradient, donc comme une gradation ici de couleurs. So you go from the darkest of your reds to the lightest of your yellows. So I used the dark red, and then I went to kind of a medium red, which turned out to be more orange, more golden towards the yellow. Like I mentioned, if you do not have all of these pencils, that's fine. You can still work with, let's say, 3 or 4 colors. So when you're ready to go, you're going to be ready to start working on your sunset. Now that your colored pencils are all placed, so you have from the darkest color to the lightest color, I need you to choose your lightest color. So for me, it's a very light yellow. And what we're going to do with this is we are going to color the entire backdrop using this pencil, so this colored pencil. So just make sure to stay dans le même sens, to stay with the same strokes throughout the entire things. If you go like this with colored pencil, you see your strokes. Donc tu vas voir tes coups de crayon. So the trick is to really keep your pencil going in the same direction throughout your coloring. So with your lightest color, we're gonna go from the top to the bottom right here, so in this order like this, or in this order like this if you would prefer. And we are going to start, and we're gonna color with our entire lightest color. Okay, so as you can see, it's not quick. So I mean, you really have to take your time to draw. This is not going to be a 5-minute project. So if ever you feel like your hand is a little sore and you do need to take a break, do so, no problem, and just come back to the project a little later. So I'm done with the yellow and in the backdrop. So there are some white spaces left, but that's okay because I'm going to go over it with my other colors. So let's go with the other colors. So now, sorry, Maple's drinking. So now we're going to choose either this side or this side. So you have to go with the strokes. If you did your strokes that way, your darkest point is going to be this. If you went your strokes this way, then your darkest corner is going to be this one. Whichever you choose, it's going to look nice. So I started my strokes like this. So my darkest point is going to be on this corner right here. So I'm going to go and I will choose my darkest color, which is a dark red. you need to apply a lot of pressure, beaucoup de pression at the beginning, and then as you move towards your image, slowly take off the pressure. Donc, tu vas appliquer beaucoup de pression au début, puis plus que tu avances, plus que tu vas réduire ta pression. So it's going to go from very dark to lighter. So that's what we want. So let's go start with our dark red. All right, so you see what I did? Here in the corner, I'm applying a lot of pressure. I want this corner to be as dark red as possible. And then as I move, sorry, Maple's thirsty today. So as I move towards the image, I'm going to reduce the pressure on my pencil. So then it's gonna look less and less red. All right, so there you have, this is a gradient. Donc ça c'est une gradation de couleur from dark red to light red. That's what we want. So here we have the beginning of our sunset. So for now we use the dark red. And now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the same thing. So going from a lot of pressure to a less pressure with all your colors. So you're going to be going down from your darkest color, it's going to be here, to your lightest color is going to be here. So what I'm doing is, this is my second darkest red. I'm going to start here towards the, where we can see that my dark red is getting a little lighter. Gonna apply a lot of pressure and then moving with less and less pressure. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing with my next color. So by now you should be getting the idea. You're going to repeat the same thing over and over with your gradient color, going from darkest to lightest to darkest to lightest to darkest to lightest until you get to that point here, which should be your lightest point. So the other corner here, the opposite corner, should be your lightest color. So this one, so the light yellow that we did the background with, it should be your light yellow at the ends right here. So like I said, just take your time. This is a project where you could just have some music playing on and just, you know, get into it. It's really fun and it's very relaxing to do as well. So just go ahead and I want you to do your gradient colors all the way to the bottom. Okay, so I am done. So let me show you. This is my sunset, and I forgot to mention, but this is called an acacia tree. So it's there's over 800 species of this kinds of trees, but it's a silhouette that we often see in the African landscapes. So we have the acacia tree, we have the horizon line, we have the sunset, so from darkest to lightest color right here. What I did at the end is I took all of my pencils again and I just kind of went over it again with each one of the colors to make sure that I was filling all the white spaces and kind of blending in the colors as well. So just by taking and making big strokes and then making sure that I was covering all the white spaces. So now all that's left is you can choose one of the African endangered animals and you can cut their silhouettes and place them on your African savanna sunset. So that was it for the tutorial. I hope you're gonna have fun. Like I mentioned before, take your time. This is a project that's gonna take a little longer, but put on some nice music, sit outside in the sun, and just draw. So have fun. And I can't wait to see how your sunsets are going to look like. So enjoy.